Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here to day 4 of the 50th annual Firecracker tournament. Today we have a double header matchup for your post 22 Hardhats. Here in this first game, they're taking off the Skutt Skyhawks, and then at 7 o'clock taking on Azteca Gavin 18U. So as you see on the top left of your scoreboard, the Hardhats are with a white background, as today's two games are whiteouts. So they will be wearing white uniforms. I know it doesn't look the greatest, but it sets the tone. All white uniforms, and they're ready to go. They had an impressive 5-1 win last night against the Missoula Mavericks on the 4th of July win. And then the first game of this Firecracker tournament, they had a 6-0 win over the Rocky Mountain Lobos. And then they had a very impressive walk-off hit from Lars Kiefer that went to 9 innings, and they beat the Napoleon River Bandits of a score of 5-4. So tomorrow, Hardhats, they want to punch their ticket to a 4:30 game in the championship game. And what a moment that would be for them to win the 50th annual Firecracker tournament. So we get closer and closer. We also have the fireworks show tonight. Hopefully the weather can stay the way it is right now. Sunshine, clear skies. As currently the weather right now, 84 degrees with little to none wind at 2 miles an hour with a 37% humidity. This is outstanding weather here. You know South Dakota, and the weather can get very weird here. So hopefully this weather can stay here. And then tomorrow is 80 pretty much the entire day. So the Hardhats will have good weather here to play in this game with this double header, as both managers and umpires will meet here at home plate. And then we'll get set and ready here soon for the starting lineups and get ready to start here for this action of this doubleheader. All right, so it looks like there will be no starting lineup. Oh, so they're going to take the field here. So I will list them off here for you. So we're going to go into left field all the way to the right side today. In left field is going to be number 22, Jace Morgan. In center field is number 19, Lars Kiefer. And in right field is number 23, Carter Johnson, from third to first all the way around the horn. Third base, as usual, number 10, Aiden Roberts. At shortstop, number 11, Blaine Hunt. At second base, number 18, Wyatt Reeder. At first base is number 25, Dexter Steen. Behind home plate today is number 20, Brody Thompson. And on the mound is number 17, Declan Mickley. So the Hardhats, as they come out to the field, Declan Mickley, the southpaw here. We'll look at his stats. 26 innings pitched this year. He has a 4-0 record, 31 strikeouts, with a 1.615 ERA, a 1.231 whip. So Mickley gets set. Brody Thompson making his first appearance here in this Firecracker tournament after Josh Elder getting the previous 3 games. And also Kane McLeod, who played in all 3 games. He gets a day's break here for this fourth game. Johnson, who played in right field in last night's game, and he had an impressive 2-for-3 game. He got his name in there for the player of the game, as I gave it to Aiden Roberts, who also went 2-for-3. So, and for the Skyhawks lineup here, their leadoff hitter is going to be number 16, Luke Heller, the second baseman. Batting second is right fielder number 11, Ryan Lynn. Batting third is third baseman number 13, Luke Van Dyke. Batting fourth is catcher number 6, Cooper Smith. Batting fifth is first baseman number 30, Cole Van Dorn. Batting sixth is shortstop number 21, Charlie Diedrich. Batting seventh is designated hitter Tate Bertucci. In left field is number 8, batting eighth in left field, number 9, Roman Kodad. And the ninth batter is the center fielder, number 1, Nate Christensen. And their starting pitcher is number 12, Gavin Norris. So Hardhats get their warm-up here from Declan Mickley in the whiteout. The crowd is wearing white shirts to make this a cooler experience and matches the uniforms here for the Hardhats. So Declan Mickley and Brody Thompson get their final words here before the first pitch is thrown. So Luke Heller, the second baseman, is going to step in here to the plate. So Declan Mickley gets his hands up high here. The lefty on the first pitch here in game one of the doubleheader is going to be in, called for strike one. So first pitch of the game for a strike from the left arm of Declan Mickley. There was an article written about him. I cannot remember exactly who wrote it. I want to say 605 Sports, but if you have a chance to go read it, you should, as this next pitch is swung on and fouls off to the right side. So for a foul ball, this count goes no balls, 2 strikes. So Declan Mickley receives a new ball. So he gets adjusted here on the mound. Here is his windup. Gets his call from Thompson, the catcher. The 0-2 pitch incoming. This one just gets behind a Thompson and takes a weird bounce off the backstop and rolls right back here to the plate. So that's going to be for the first ball. That one just goes a little wide of Brody Thompson. So 1-2 here as Heller, the second baseman, first batter here of this game for the Skyhawks. He steps in. Mickley here on the delivery on the 1-2 pitch. This one is just going to go up high for ball 2 as that one popped right back out of the glove of Brody Thompson. So 2-2 here the count. Declan Mickley again getting his final adjustments here before throwing his 5th pitch here on this at-bat. Has the left arm up here near his head. Here's the pitch off the mound. This one is swung, popped up again. This one is going to be fouled off. So 2-2. Heller, the second baseman, trying to hold off here, trying to get a base hit, one on the ground. He's been very aggressive here on these pitches that Mickley has offered. So 2-2 the count. Declan Mickley. He had 2 balls in a row and then fouled off in the last one there from Heller. Here comes the pitch. This was swung on. This one is hit. Blaine Hunt, Wyatt Reeder chasing after it, and Hunt trips over the leg of Wyatt Reeder, but that's going to be caught for the first out here. Blaine Hunt pops up A-OK as they get all settled in. So first out, here comes the right fielder, Ryan Lynn. As you don't want to see any collisions here from anyone on the team, as they're going to try to give Blaine Hunt here a second if he is hurt, as he just tripped over the right leg of Wyatt Reeder. They were both chasing after it into shallow center field, just where that grass hits, and Reeder was more focused on catching the ball. Must have not been great communication there. So Mickley here, just his second at-bat face. This is going to be swung on the ground. Ball sneaks right past Blaine Hunt and Wyatt Reeder, and this one rolls to Kiefer in center field. So the second batter is going to get a first pitch single, and now pulls in the third baseman, number 13, Luke Van Dyke. So the first base hit of the game. Hardhats did a great job of keeping Missoula off of the hits last night, as they only allowed them really about 4 or 5. So they did a good job defensively. So Lynn with the single. He's the runner on first. Mickley here to his third at bat. Here comes the first pitch, swung on and missed for strike 1. 0-1 here with one away. In the first inning here of this 4:30 game between the Skutt Skyhawks. Mickley is just going to lob this one over to Dexter Steen on first, trying to get Lynn off. The pickoff attempt. Hardhats in double digits this year for pickoff attempts. So 0-1, Mickley again. Benefit of being a lefty, get a straight shot look on first. Here comes his second pitch of this at-bat. Swung on a miss for strike two. So 2 swings and a misses here for Luke Van Dyke. No balls, 2 strikes. Mickley takes a deep breath here on the mound as he gets his left foot settled on the bump. As he gets his call from Brody Thompson. Gets a look over on first base where Lynn got a single. Here comes his next pitch. It's a ground ball. This one, Reeder on second base. Plays the bounce. Throws the hunt on second. The quick throw to Dexter Steen on first is there. The double play puts this top of the first inning away. As Van Dyke grounds out to Reeder for a 4-6-3 double play. So it was a pop-up from Heller to start off the inning. Then Ryan Lynn, the first pitch that Declan Mickley gave him, goes in for a single, and then Van Dyke there grounds out for the double play. So on the mound here for the Skyhawks is number 12, Gavin Norris. And the first 3 hitters for the post-22 Hardhats are the third baseman, Aiden Roberts. Batting second is center fielder Lars Kiefer. And batting third is second baseman Wyatt Reeder. So Aiden Roberts, who was the player of the game for us last night, he went 2 for 3 with 2 singles and a strikeout, had a stolen base and a run and an RBI, as he has had a nice bat, swinging very well here the last few games. For Aiden Roberts this year, he is second on the team in batting average at an even .400, with an on-base percentage of .530 and slugging at a 6 flat. He has 54 hits this year, 38 singles with 8 doubles and 5 triples. He has 3 home runs. And he also ranks himself second in that category, just one behind Wyatt Reeder, who leads the team in home runs with 4. He also has 29 RBIs, 59 runs, and he leads the team in the stolen base with 35. So righty on the mound, and Gavin Norris as we'll hear to the batting order here for the Hardhats. So our great PA announcer says the lineup here for the Hardhats. So Norris will throw his final pitch, and this is what the defense looks like here for the Skyhawks. In left field is Roman Kodot. In center field is Nate Christensen. In right field is Ryan Lynn from third all the way to first. Third base is Luke Van Dyke. At shortstop is Charlie Diedrich. At second base is Luke Heller. And at first is Cole Van Dorn. The catcher is Cooper Smith with Norris on the mound. So here we go, the first pitch that Aiden Roberts will face is he had to take a swing on it, and this one gets through the shortstop into center field, and he is not stopping. He's going to go over to second. That's going to be a leadoff double for Aiden Roberts, the first pitch he sees. And the Hardhats, they are still carrying on that momentum that they had a few nights ago in that walk-off win. And the man that did that job was this guy coming up to bat here in number 19, Lars Kiefer. And Kiefer in last night's game, he had a single, walk, and a flyout. Looking at his batting average and hitting stats this year, a .301 batting average, .425 on-base percentage, and a .397 slugging. He has 44 hits, also has a high amount of stolen bases with 27, and also top 3 here on the team in runs, ranked with 52. So Norris, the first pitch here onto Lars Kiefer is going to be counted for as ball 1, as where Aiden Roberts saw the first pitch and takes it off, gets by the shortstop in Diedrich and rolls into center field for an error. Got to adjust here, the runner's on base. 1-0 pitch next to Kiefer. Gets a good swing on this one. Caught by Diedrich, the shortstop. Made a great catch for the first out here. That's just a line drive and puts one away. So Wyatt Reeder, first on the team in batting average with a .532, on-base percentage of a .604, and slugging at an .804. He leads the team by 20 more hits than Aiden Roberts, who has 54. Wyatt Reeder has 84. Also having the team lead in RBIs with 58. No player close to him unless if it's Jace Morgan, who has 37. So the first pitch here that Wyatt Reeder will face will go for ball one. Roberts still on second, following Kiefer the line drive to the shortstop. Here comes this next pitch. This one's going to go outside for ball two again. 2-0 count here to start off for Wyatt Reeder as he waits here with that low bat sway. Norris looks back to the runner on second. The glove here in front of the face. This is Swan on this ground ball right to the third baseman. Here is Van Dorn. The throw over to first. That makes the play. Roberts, he's going to take off to third. So that's just going to be a ground out there for Wyatt Reeder. Gets the second out here in the inning and pulls up the cleanup hitter. And Jace Morgan. Jace Morgan on this season, .324 average, a .463 on-base percentage, and a .390 slugging. A lot of these, there's 3 players here on the Hardhats team tied with 44 hits. Morgan also having 37 singles, 5 doubles, and 2 triples. The first pitch here fouls it off on the left side on the third base line. Starts off 0 with 2 outs. Aiden Roberts on third base, who is one shy of 60 runs this year. Wyatt Reeder having 61. Those two are the only... There's 3 players with 50-plus runs this year. This next pitch Morgan will take is going to go in that top left corner for ball one. Reeder, Roberts, and Kiefer all having 50-plus runs this season. So a ball and a strike here for Jace Morgan. Here comes this next pitch. He's going to take a swing. This one is up in the air. The shortstop backpedaling. He makes the catch on the pop-up. And that will do it for the third out here. First inning is gone. We go to the second. Both teams with 1 hit each, 1 error coming for the Skyhawks. As Diedrich, who makes 2 plays there for the Skyhawks with the line drive caught from the hit off of Lars Kiefer, and then Morgan's pop-up as it was the first pitch of the game from Aiden Roberts. Gets all the way to first, and then an error in the outfield moves him along to second. Wyatt Reeder then grounded to third, and that's how the 3 outs occurred. So here for the Skyhawks, Declan Mickley back on the mound. Their 3 due up here is going to be their catcher in number 6, Cooper Smith, followed by their first baseman in Cole Van Dorn. And in the 6th batting spot is the shortstop number 21, Charlie Diedrich, the shortstop. So Declan Mickley, who has thrown 31 strikeouts this year, looking for a big one total here today, as last night's pitcher for the Hardhats was number 29, McCoy Rippentrop, as he threw for 6 strikeouts in his game. He went all the way through and got that big 5-1 victory against the Mavericks. After that was their 5th time meeting up with each other in this whole entire season. So Declan Mickley giving the warm-up throws to Brody Thompson. Mentioned earlier, making his first appearance here of this Firecracker tournament. At 7 o'clock, Hardhats take on Azteca Gavin, the 18U team, at 7 o'clock, and the fireworks show happening later tonight. So here comes the Skyhawks catcher, and Cooper Smith. He'll be the leadoff hitter here in the 4th inning. This is only the Skyhawks' 4th batter here in the lineup after Post 22 handled their 3 first batters, with Ryan Lynn just the 2nd man on the lineup getting the single, and then Luke Van Dyke having that 4-6-3 double play. This is a line drive right to the glove of Wyatt Reeder on second base. First pitch here to start off the 2nd inning, 1 away. So here the first baseman, Cole Van Dorn, first baseman, a right-handed batter facing a lefty pitcher. Second pitch here of the inning will come from Declan Mickley. Lifts the leg off the mound. Pitch comes in. This one is going to be knocking in for a strike. Starts off 0-1. No balls, 1 strike as Declan Mickley here with his windup before delivering this 0-1 pitch. Here it comes. This one is just going to come up a little high for ball 1. McCoy Rippentrop, who threw quite a bit last night. I'll pull up here how many pitches that he threw. A ball and a strike. With 1 away here in the top of the second inning. Still a 0-0 game. Next pitch comes in for strike 2. As Van Dorn watches that one go all the way to the glove there of Brody Thompson. Mickley adjusts once again here on the mound. 1-2. Mickley to lift the leg. Pitch comes in. This one just goes a little outside for ball 2. So last night, McCoy Rippentrop threw 97 pitches, and 61 of them were called for strikes. So that's how his night went last night for the Hardhats starting pitcher, who pitched the entire game. So 2 balls, 2 strikes here for Van Dorn. The first baseman takes this, swung on and missed, and gets a piece of the umpire as well. So Thompson's just going to walk this one up here. So this will stay at 2-2. With 1 out, Mickley getting both arms here a little adjusted as Van Dorn got contact with it, just got a little piece of it to stay alive here on a 2-2 count. Mickley here with the offering of the pitch. This one is swung. This one is high up in the right field. Tater Johnson is under it, makes the catch for the second out here in the second inning. Puts the first 2 batters away. Here comes the third here in this inning. It's Charlie Diedrich. So Carter Johnson also playing very well here in the last few games. Hardhats getting really hot when they start needing to, getting closer and closer here to the state tournament, coming up at the end of this month, July 29th through the 1st of August. First pitch comes in on the inside near the shins here of Diedrich, the shortstop, batting 6th here in the lineup for the Skyhawks. Mickley gets his call from Thompson. Here comes the pitch. Swung on. This ground ball is going to be bouncing the infield. This one right to Wyatt Reeder. The toss over to Steen on first for the third out. So again, they go 1-2-3 with the 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Wyatt Reeder making another ground out play here today. So the Post 22 Hardhats and the Skutt Skyhawks still at a 0-0 game here going into the bottom of the second inning. And the 3-2 up here for the Hardhats is going to be the first baseman, Dexter Steen, followed by right fielder and Carter Johnson, and the designated hitter, number 12, Dawson Inhofer. So quickly here, well, we'll have Norris throwing some more pitches. We'll look here for some MLB scores around the league. Currently in the bottom of the 8th inning, Orioles and Braves tied at 6-6. And it's still in that battle of the New York, Mets versus Yankees. It's the Mets having an 11-5 lead over the Bronx Bombers and the Yankees. A 7:15 start for the Detroit Tigers and the Cleveland Guardians, as well as the Astros and Dodgers starting at 7:15. A late game, 9:10, White Sox Rockies, 9:40 Eastern Time. Rangers versus Padres, and at 10:05, Giants versus Athletics, Pirates, Mariners, and the final scores: the Minnesota Twins defeat the Tampa Bay Rays 6-5, and the St. Louis Cardinals get their sweet revenge on the Chicago Cubs following their loss last night to them. They beat the Cubs 8-6. In extra innings, the Toronto Blue Jays defeat the Los Angeles Angels of a score of 4-3. Boston Red Sox defeat the Washington Nationals 10-3. And the Philadelphia Phillies defeat the Cincinnati Reds 5-1. So Dexter Steen also had a very great game last night. He is third on the team in batting average with a .376, a .549 on-base percentage, and a .495 slugging. He has 38 hits. He also leads the team in walks with 28. First pitch here at the bottom of the second inning will come from the hand of Norris. Swung on here by Steen. This ground ball is scooped up by the second baseman, here in Luke Heller. The throw over to Van Dorn on first for one away. First pitch as well here in the second inning. So Tater Johnson, he comes in here for the right fielder. Batting average at a 204, a 339 on-base percentage, and a 272 slugging last night. Got his 20th hit of the season. He enters this game with 21, getting 2 hits last night. First pitch he sees. This one as well. Hit this one over Diedrich, the shortstop, into left field. And he gets his 22nd hit of the season, as that is the second hit here of the game for the Hardhats, as Johnson singles. And for Carter Johnson, that's his 17th single of the year. This is Dawson Inhofer, the DH, in Game 1 of this doubleheader between the Skyhawks at a 235 average, a 311 on-base percentage, and a 304 slugging. So Norris wanting a quick look at Carter Johnson on first. Johnson this year also having 15 stolen bases. First pitch, Inhofer we'll see as well. This one as well hit into left field, back towards the wall. It's going to be caught. With a second out here in the inning, a lot of these Hardhats being very aggressive here on the first pitch of the at-bat. All three of the hitters in Steen, Johnson, and Inhofer have taken a swing on their first at-bat. So Inhofer flies to left field. This pulls in the catcher for this game in Brody Thompson, with a 220 batting average, a 340 on-base percentage, and a 341 slugging. He has 9 hits this year with 6 singles and 2 doubles. So with Johnson still on first base, with 2 away here in the bottom of the second in a 0-0 game, as this pitch will come in for a ball 1 as the catcher in Cooper Smith. That one also kind of bounced out of his glove. We saw that one happen earlier with Brody Thompson. A 1-0 count. Here for the right-handed pitcher, and Gavin Norris looking here for the right-handed batter, and Brody Thompson making sure he's got to look at Johnson in the corner of his eye. This ball also drops down low for ball 2. 2-0. Patiently is Brody Thompson as he waits for one right down the middle. He has power. He has hit one off the wall in left field this year during the Veterans Classic against Pierre. 2-0 the count. This next pitch comes in for strike 1. First one here of this at-bat for Brody Thompson. For Thompson this year as well, having 1 home run that he hit in the Omaha tournament. 2 balls and a strike. Johnson on first. He's leaning in towards first. This one is swung, popped up high here by Brody Thompson. This one is in foul territory in left field as it's going to be caught. So that's the third out here in this inning. We go to the third, still in a 0-0 game. Thompson pop flies to left field. So we go to the top of the third inning. Which team will strike first? In that inning, we saw Carter Johnson single. Then we saw Dexter Steen. The first 3 batters took their first pitch on the at-bat for a swing. Johnson was the only one who had success in that, as Steen, who grounded to second, Inhofer, who flew to left field, and then with Brody Thompson popping to left field. So now it's going to be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters here for the Skyhawks. It's going to be the designated hitter in Tate Barucci, followed by the left fielder, number 9, Roman Kodad, and the center fielder, number 1, Nate Christensen. So those are the 3 due up here for the Hardhats. And pitching in this tournament for the Hardhats in Game 1 against the Rocky Mountain Lobos was Jaden Moreno, who has been absolutely outstanding this season, throwing for 55 strikeouts this year. He leads the team in innings pitched. And then against the Napoleon River Bandits was Ryan Negebauer. He started that game, and then in the start of the 8th inning, 6th inning, they put Skyler Montgomery in. And then last night, obviously, with McCoy Rippentrop. And then tonight, Game 1 of this doubleheader with Declan Mickley. We'll see who the starter will be in the next game. So final warm-up pitch there from Declan Mickley. So for Bertucci, Declan Mickley, a lefty throwing pitcher. First one is going to be just a little outside for ball one. Started his first 2 innings throwing for first pitch he offered was in for a strike. So he starts off the 3rd inning here with a 1-0 count. Mickley with the windup, pitch is released. This one comes down low for ball 2. So 2-0 to start off this 3rd inning for the leadoff hitter for the Skyhawks designated hitter in Tate Bertucci. Mickley, who waits here a little bit, lifts the right leg, pitch comes in, swung on and missed for strike 1. So 2-1 here after the first 2 pitches were for 2 balls. Declan Mickley will find some extra grip here on the left fingers with the lick of the fingertips. 2 hits for the Hardhats this evening, 1 for the Skyhawks. This next pitch comes in, swung on and missed for strike 2. Last 2 pitches, swung on and missed for the Skyhawks designated hitter. Mickley again here. Great story recovering from a Tommy John surgery on that left elbow. The throwing arm. This 3rd pitch comes in, swung on and missed. See you later for strike 3 in the first out. That is the 32nd strikeout of the year for Declan Mickley here in his first of the game. So the first strikeout for both starting pitchers in Gavin Norris and Mickley. Mickley will get the first laugh. Now this pulls in Roman Kodod, the left fielder. A lefty hitter here. We'll see how this lefty-lefty matchup works. First pitch he sees, he takes a little contact with it, fouls off here, and hits the netting towards the left side of play. So 0-1 with 1 away here, top of the 3rd inning. Again, we will see who's going to get the first run of the game. Hardhats wearing the all-white uniforms for their whiteout. 0-1 pitch here incoming from Declan Mickley. This one's going to bounce off the turf before it gets the glove of Brody Thompson for ball 1. Ball and a strike for 1 away. As it reads there on the left scoreboard in left field. Mickley with the pitch coming. Swung on this ground ball is going to squeak through. Roberts on 3rd and Hunt on shortstop. This is going to be scooped up by Morgan to left field. So the second hit for the Skyhawks today will come from their left fielder in Roman Kodod. So he singles facing a 1-1 count. And now pulls in the number 9 hitter in Nate Christensen. The last time we saw the Skyhawks hit a single, it was followed by a 4-6-3 double play from Reeder to Hunt to Steen. So we'll see if they can match that like they did back in the 1st inning. Here, the center fielder for the Skyhawks. Declan Mickley looks straight ahead of the runner on first. Steen, another lefty throwing. This one is in for a strike 1. Hardhats having a handful of guys here that catch with their right hands. Declan Mickley on the mound today. Jace Morgan on the left field. Dexter Steen on first with also Broden Sales, a pitcher. I believe those are the only few that pitch with their catch with their right. This next pitch comes in for strike 2. This one also went right off the palm and the glove of Thompson and just rolls out in front of him. So no balls, 2 strikes with 1 out here. This is Nate Christensen, the 9th batter in the lineup for the Skyhawks. Mickley gets a big lunge here on the mound. Pulls the feet together, fakes the pitch as this one is thrown over towards Dexter Steen as first as he lifted the right leg, initiating that he was going to throw the pitch and then throw it over on the pickoff attempt to Steen on first as Kodad slid in safe. So 0-2 count still here for Christensen. Mickley gets his call. Here comes the heat for Mickley. This is one popped up high. This one Dexter Steen over here to the dugout. This one he can't reach it as that one goes up and over the netting out of play. So Christensen will still be facing an 0-2 count. Declan Mickley retrieves a new ball here. So he takes a lean in as Brody Thompson will give him a call. Mickley likes it. Looks over to first again. 0-2 pitch. Runner takes off to second. This one is popped up and over here of the crow's nest So 2 straight foul balls here for Christensen. First 2 were swung on and missed by him. So it's been all for strikes today. 0-2 the count. Christensen, as he was facing his chest towards Mickley on the mound, is now in his stance. Here comes the pitch for Mickley. This is swung. This ground ball here is caught by the shortstop. And Hunt to throw over to first, and that's going to be safe. So back-to-back singles from Kodod and Christensen, just not in time from the throw from Hunt. That was just right behind the mound to Steen on first. So Luke Heller back to the top of the lineup for the Skyhawks. First time up, he popped up to Wyatt Reeder on second base. That happened with the collision with Blaine Hunt. They're both okay following it after Hunt tripped over the right leg of Reeder. So a quick time called here as Thompson and Mickley are going to talk some things here. There's 1 out in the top of the third with runners on first and second from the number 8 and 9 batters in the lineup for the visiting Skutt Skyhawks. So following the brief talk between Thompson and Mickley, the first pitch here for Heller's second at-bat awaits. Here it comes from the left arm of Mickley. This first pitch is in down the middle for strike 1. 0-1 to start off. Mickley gets his feet apart here on the mound. Looking right down the middle to his catcher and Brody Thompson. He looks back to the runner on second. Blaine Hunt backs off. Next pitch, this one dropped a little low. Hits the knee pad of Thompson and rolls right out in front of him. No runners take off on that one, so that was in for ball 1. 2 pitches here on this at-bat for the Skyhawks second baseman Luke Heller. 1-1 with 1 out. Mickley again takes a sneak peek on second. He's got a straight look to the runner on first. Here comes his next pitch. This is swung. This one a ground ball here to Hunt. A little loft over to Reeder on second. The throw to Steen on first. Another 6-4-3 double play. Hardhats allowing 2 hits there in that inning. But they will stay alive with the Skyhawks having an egg on the scoreboard. So do the Hardhats, but that could change here in the bottom of the third inning. So Heller will go 0 for 2 today. Or sorry, that was actually a reverse. As Van Dyke on that double play went 4-6-3, that meant it went to Reeder first, then to Hunt. This one went 6-4-3, going from Hunt, Reeder to Steen. Learn something new every day. As I'm figuring that out now, finally. So, still remaining on the mound is Gavin Norris, the starting pitcher in this game for the Skyhawks. And the leadoff hitters here for the Hardhats is going to be the number 9 batter and shortstop number 11, Blaine Hunt, who made that play to put out the top of the third. And back to the top of the list, the lineup, and number 10, Aiden Roberts and Lars Kiefer. So those are the 3 next batters for the Hardhats. Three hits for the Skyhawks, having 2 in that last inning. Hardhats having 2, 1 coming from Aiden Roberts and Carter Johnson. Those are the only 2 batters that have made contact with it for a base hit. So as they work on the throws in infield, as Norris still getting his warm-up pitches in. Blaine Hunt this season ranks 4th on the team in batting average with a .362, an on-base percentage of .490, and slugging at .466. So Blaine Hunt, the switch hitter, will bat left here in this first game of the doubleheader. Every time he faces a right-handed pitcher, he'll bat left, and lefty, he'll face a righty. So this first pitch, he went in for the bunt. This one will go down the middle for strike 1. 0-1 to start off. Blaine Hunt, shortstop here. Leadoff hitter in the bottom of the third. Next pitch, this one coming in. That one looked in close, but it's going to be called for strike 2. So no balls, 2 strikes. 2 pitches in. Blaine Hunt as he re-enters the batter's box here. Here comes the pitch from Gavin Norris on the mound for the Skyhawks. This one comes up high into the left for ball one. Blaine Hunt knew better to not chase after that one. So 1-2. Hunt back in it. Here comes from Norris, the pitcher. He took a little tumble on the run over to first. That's going to be grounded by the shortstop. And that will be caught for the first out. So the shortstops for both these teams today have been staying busy in Charlie Diedrich and Blaine Hunt's. So everybody on both teams has had at least one at-bat. Ian Roberts, who had the leadoff single and then reached to second on the air. First pitch he will see is going to go down low off the turf for ball one. Norris, the pitch from the righty. Roberts gets a good smack at it. This one is picked up by the third baseman and Van Dyke. The throw over to Van Dorn on first for the second out. 2 groundouts here. So Lars Kiefer steps in. He had a line drive to Diedrich, the shortstop, on his first at-bat. Center fielder this first game for the Hardhats. First pitch comes in for strike one. 0-1. Norris quickly gets his call here from the catcher and Cooper Smith. 0-1 pitch comes. Swung on this one was down to the turf for strike two. So no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in this bottom of the third inning between the Skutt Skyhawks and your Post 22 Hardhats. Here comes the next pitch. This one was high and tight inside for ball one, as almost looked like got a piece on that left arm. So 1-2 here. Norris, the pitch comes. This one down into the turf again. Takes a bounce into the chest of Smith, the catcher, for ball two. 2-2 after first 2 pitches onto Lars Kiefer were for 2 strikes. Here it comes. Swung on by Kiefer. Hard hit ball. This one right through the second baseman and shortstop. Kiefer is going to single, facing 2 outs here, and now pulls in a dangerous man at Wyatt Reeder. So for Lars Kiefer, his 45th hit of the year and his 37th single. So Reeder today, who had a ground ball to the third baseman and Van Dyke. We'll see if Kiefer here, having a good 27 stolen bases, might want to add for a 28th. First pitch here on the Wyatt Reeder. He's going to let that one go through the middle for strike one. 0-1 to start off. Norris back on the bump. Reeder back in the batter's box. He's got Kiefer on the back of Norris. This pitch is going to be swung. Hard hit ball picked up by the shortstop. He's going to tag on second base himself for the third out here in this third inning. So Hardhats, they tie up the hits with Skutt at 3 apiece for each team. Still in a 0-0 game. Kiefer, who got the base hit there. Reeder grounds out for his second time this evening. And Blaine Hunt, the leadoff hitter, grounded the shortstop. Roberts grounded. So all 3 of the outs turned out to be grounds. So the 3 to up here for the Skyhawks are going to be the right fielder Ryan Lynn, Luke Van Dyke, and Cooper Smith. So we didn't finish the final 2 MLB scores, as I'll say them for you. Arizona Diamondbacks defeat the Kansas City Royals of a score of 7-1. And the Miami Marlins defeat the Milwaukee Brewers of a score of 4-2. So those were the final scores around the MLB. Some of those games are just kind of starting up, as Orioles and Braves still tied at 6-6. That one is in the top of the 10th. And then the Mets still beating up here on the Yankees of 11-6, trying to show them who really rules New York. And I believe those are all the final scores. And those 2 are the only current games, with All the other games starting up soon as they're in their warm-ups. So Declan Mickley, three innings pitched. He's thrown for 1 strike. He's allowed 3 hits, no runs. And for the Skyhawks, leadoff hitter is going to be the right fielder, Ryan Lynn, who got the first base hit of this game. So he's going to step in here to the batter's box. For the Skyhawks, Lynn, Kodad, and Christensen, all singling for the Hardhats, being Roberts, Kiefer, and Johnson. So lefty versus lefty here. Hardhats being very aggressive on the first pitch being offered to them. We'll see if the Skyhawks will match it, and they will. This is going to be a foul ball in that first base line. Brody Thompson making sure he's there if that was going to stay fair. So this will go 0-1. Both teams wanting to be that first team to get that first run of the game. So 0-1 following the foul ball. Declan Mickley raises the roof here if there was a roof over this baseball field. 0-1 pitch comes. Swung on and missed for strike 2. Good first 2 pitches here on just the second at-bat for Lynn. He settles into the left-handed batter's box. The left-handed pitcher and Declan Mickley will do his routine. The 0-2 pitch comes. Swung on, got contact with it, hits the netting for his second foul ball here on this at-bat. The man on deck for the Skyhawks and number 13, their third baseman, Luke Van Dyke. So that's on deck for the Skyhawks. 0-2 the count still here for Lynn. Single his first at-bat. 0-2 pitch comes. This one down into the turf on the opposite batter's box for ball 1. Declan Mickley has been very sharp in this game, throwing his first strikeout of this game in the last inning. The 1-2 pitch comes. This one again bounces off of home plate and into the possession of Brody Thompson as he throws that one back to Declan Mickley onto the pitcher's mound. So 2 balls, 2 strikes here for Lynn on his at-bat. Here comes this next pitch. This is swung on. This ground ball is going to be picked up by Blaine Hunt. The quick throw to Steen, and he beats it out with the speed. So we've seen that for the second time here in this game. Same player in Blaine Hunt. A little soft ground ball, a little chopper. So we'll lead off single for Ryan Lynn. He gets his second of the game. Now this pulls in Luke Van Dyke, who grounded to Wyatt Reeder his first time up to get that 4-6-3 double play which put out that first inning. For Declan Mickley currently, he's thrown 41 pitches and 30 of them have been in for strikes. So following the leadoff single, Mickley wants to throw it over there. He did that fake right leg, a little lift that he was going to throw the pitch, and then he throws it over to first. So Van Dyke still currently awaiting his first pitch here on his second at-bat. Mickley will deliver. This one is swung. This one is high up in the air into center field. Lars Kiefer backpedaling like an NFL quarterback, and that will be caught for the first out here on the fly out to center field. So this is Cooper Smith with a line drive to Wyatt Reeder on second base. Fourth hit of the game coming from Ling, also getting 2 of those 4 on his name. This pitch will come down low in the turf as Thompson backstops it like a backboard to a basketball hoop. That was in for ball 1. Lynn will take his lead off of first base. Steen in the squat position on first, as we don't have that great angle there. On this angle from my view, this is going to be a foul ball on that first base line. So it goes to a 1-1 count. Thompson again following that ball behind it to see if it was going to stay fair. The pickup, then the throw to first on Steen. Hardhats first baseman was also giving chase, and Mickley as well from the mound. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 0-0 game in the top of the 4th inning. A runner on first. Here comes this pitch. Comes inside. Runner's going to hold off on first base. He has an attempt to go with that one that just goes a little inside. Brady Thompson had that one under control, so there was no need to take off from second. So 2-1. Mickley getting the call, looks over to the runner on first, lifts the leg, pitch comes, swung on, makes contact with it, fouls off and hits the netting in front of the great crowd here tonight for a 2-2 count with 1 away. So Mickley, who was off the hill here, so he re-enters. Lynn singling for his second time this evening. In his first game of the doubleheader, the Hardhats will play. This is swung. This ground ball is made by Ian Roberts. He will throw it to second. He's going to throw it over to first to Dexter Steen, who makes the catch for the second out. So Lynn advances over to second. Cooper Smith is going to go 0 for 2. And now this is Skyhawks first baseman Cole Van Dorn, who flew out to right field, ran into the hand of Carter Johnson. So Declan Mickley here looks dead center down the middle. Hunt backs off to the runner on second and Lynn. This pitch is in for strike 1. Starts off this at-bat 0-1. Started off last inning with a 2-0 count in the first 2 innings. Mickley started off first at-bat in each inning with an 0-1 count. 2 outs in the top of the 4th. Lynn, who advanced following the ground out on the last at-bat. This next pitch just comes in a little inside for ball 1. So 1-1 here for the Skyhawks first baseman in Van Dorn. Mickley gets his call. Looks back to second as Blaine Hunt mirroring him right behind him. And there's a quick time call here by the batter as Mickley, who was kind of looking back to the runner on second, not knowing what he wanted to do. So 1-1, following the timeout in the batter's box. Mickley's pitch comes. This one is down the middle for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the 4th inning. A runner on second, 0-0 the score. Mickley will kick some turf there on the mound as he looks in to see what Brody Thompson wants the pitch here to be. Here it comes, the 1-2. This one just a little bit up. Ball 2. Trying to get an off-speed pitch to have Van Dorn's eyes open big and take a swing on it and miss for the breaker ball. 2-2 count. Mickley looks back to the runner on second in Lynn, the right fielder for the Skyhawks. Next pitch comes in. This one's going to go down low. Rolls all the way towards the backstop, and Lynn will advance to third base. So that was in for ball 3. First full count we see here this evening between both teams. So Declan Mickley will move the shoulders here a little bit, trying to shake off that last pitch and get a little bit more loose here to pitch even longer here in this game. 3-2 with 2 outs. Runner on third after moving on that pitch that got behind Thompson. This is swung, popped up high, up and over the netting and out of play. Three balls, 2 strikes. As Van Dorn stays alive with a runner on third. Mickley will give Thompson the yes call here on the pitch. It comes. This one is going to be called for ball 4. So the first walk allowed on the day. And we're going to see Coach Kindred here for the Hardhats come out and have a quick mound visit here on the mound. And for Declan Mickley, that's only the 13th walk that he has allowed this year. So that will put runners on the corners for the Skyhawks. The next batter is Charlie Diedrich, the shortstop. So that's what it looks like for the next hitter for the Skyhawks. So following the mound visit, Coach Kindred will return to the dugout. Declan Mickley now with runners on the corners. First pitch comes in. This is going to be inside for ball one. A 1-0 start here for Diedrich, hitting sixth in the lineup for the Skyhawks. Mickley's got a runner in front of him and a runner behind him. This pitch is in for a strike, and again will bounce right off out of the glove of Thompson. We've seen that a few times from him behind the plate, and once for the Skyhawks catcher in Cooper Smith. So Mickley will cover up with a strike on the last pitch from the first pitch on this at-bat was in for ball one. 1-1 pitch comes. This one is going to be up high. Thompson quickly stands up on his feet, making sure that Van Dorn stays on first, not attempting to make that run off to second base. So 2 balls and a strike. Declan Mickley gets his call, stands straight on the mound. Aiden Roberts, who is now on the bag on third. Here comes this next pitch. This one is up high for ball 3. So 3 balls and 1 strike with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. Three balls and a strike. Declan Mickley looks back to the runner on first. Here comes the pitch. This one down the middle for strike 2. So we see back-to-back full counts here for Declan Mickley pitching. We saw the last one there to Van Dorn, who took the walk. A big moment here in this game with runners on the corners with 2 outs in the top of the 4th. Declan Mickley confident in the nod here on this pitch that he's about to deliver. Off the mound, pitch swung on and missed for strike 3. 3rd out here, the Hardhats, as they only allow 1 hit and 1 walk from Declan Mickley as they escape and they go in the bottom of the 4th inning. So we'll take a short break here on Hardhats TV, and we'll be back for the bottom of the 4th inning. So Jace Morgan's going to be the leadoff man here in the 4th inning for the Hardhats after they just kind of escaped away in the top of the 4th following that strikeout to tuck it away from Declan Mickley, who adds for his 2nd. Today for Jace Morgan, he had a pop-up to Diedrich, the shortstop. Norris, the first pitch here to Morgan. He's going to just take that back up out of the box. That one was outside for ball 1. Starts off 1-0. Skyhawks having 4 hits in this game. Hardhats having 3. Norris here with his next delivery. This breaker ball again on that top left corner for ball 2. Morgan knows better to not take it. 2 balls, no strikes here for Jace Morgan, the left fielder today for the Hardhats. Norris on his third pitch. This one is going to be down the middle for strike 1. 2-1. Jace Morgan back here into his batting stance. Dexter Steen is on deck. 2-1 pitch comes from Norris. This one on that top left corner for ball 3. We've seen 3 pitches, the 3 that have gone for balls on that top left corner from Jace Morgan. Here it comes. The next pitch from Norris. Same thing. 4 balls on that top left corner. First walk that he will allow today, and a free ticket to first base there for Jace Morgan. So Dexter Steen, who is the walk. If you need a walk, you put him on the at-bat. So Morgan on first. The leadoff walk. Steen today with a ground out. Norris the first pitch as Steen gets a hard bunt, picks right up to the first base, and the throw over to first. So the sacrifice bunts from Dexter Steen will advance Jace Morgan on to second. So this is Carter Johnson, who has a single today, keeping his hitting streak going up, playing right field. So 2 of the 3 last at-batters being in the outfield, with Dexter Steen being the first baseman on the last at-bat for the sacrifice bunt. Norris the first pitch. Johnson gets a good hack at this one. This is in the right field. It's going to be caught. Jace Morgan wanted a tag from second. Took 1 step and decides to hold off. So 2 away here. First pitch, Johnson sees. He takes another swing. Now up that is Dawson Inhofer. So Inhofer in this game, a fly out to left field. Jace Morgan still on second base following his leadoff walk to start off this 4th inning. First pitch, Inhofer will see. Takes a swing, this ground ball. Pick up by Diedrich, the shortstop, to throw over to first. While a falling Van Dorn, Coach Ewing thought it was safe. It looked like Inhofer had the speed. So first base coach and Nick Ewing will have a talk. We saw that kind of that same thing happen last night, where manager Kelvin Torvey ran all the way from towards the dugout over to first. So they're going to still call him out after Nick Ewing trying to do his best lawyer impression, trying to get that call in for safe on first. So we go to the 5th inning, still in a 0-0 game, and what a game this has been. Defensively, both teams have been playing well, and pitching-wise from Gavin Norris and Declan Mickley as well. Close one to call there to put out the 4th. So we're moments away here from starting the 5th inning here in this first game of the doubleheader for the Hardhats between the Skutt Skyhawks, and at 7 they are taking on Pueblo. So for Tate Bertucci today, gave the first strikeout for Declan Mickley this evening, who has thrown for 2 total in this game. Hardhats being very aggressive on every pitch. On the last at-bat, they went through 4 hitters. First one is going to be down into the turf and rolls away from Brody Thompson towards the backstop for ball 1. So 1-0, Declan Mickley, the hands up high, pulls him right back down. Here comes the 1-0. This one again comes down low for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Skyhawks having 4 hits this evening. Hardhats with 3. Hardhats had 9 hits last night in that 5-1 victory over the Missoula Mavericks. 2-0 pitch here from Mickley. This one again inside, rolls away from Brody Thompson for ball 3. So a lot of these recent pitches from Declan Mickley have gone down low on the turf and have escaped out of the way of Brody Thompson. 3 balls, no strikes. Here for Bertucci, the DH. This next pitch comes down low for ball 4. So another leadoff, or the second walk allowed today from Declan Mickley for pitch walk. So now this will be Roman Kodad, who singled his first time up for the left fielder. We see Dawson Inhofer making his way towards the bullpen for the post 22 Hardhats with Josh Elder as well. So runner on first. Here comes the pitch. Kodad, who went to go down for it for a bunt, he decided to hold off, so that was in for ball 1. That one also got a little bit out of the control there when they throw back to the mound from Mickley, as Bertucci held off on first base. A 1-0 count. Mickley again, a straight shot look on first. Aidan Roberts playing in tight on third. This next pitch comes down low for ball 2. Brody Thompson trying to frame that one up higher for getting the first strike called, but home plate umpire buying none of it. 2-0. Here for the lefty hitting Roman Kodad. This next pitch will be called for strike 1. Mickley throws for what he wanted, and he will get it. 2-1 here. Mickley again, the runner on first. Lifts a leg, pitch comes, Swan on this ground ball. Wyatt Reeder, the second baseman, the other hand scoop to Hunt, tag second, throw to Steen on first, and that's the 3rd double play the Hardhats have made here in this game, and it's been that 3 same duo, Reeder, Hunt, and Steen. We've seen that one happen as well today, the 4-6-3. So now this pulls in Nate Christensen, the center fielder, who on his first at-bat, him and Kodad had back-to-back singles. First pitch, this is going to be popped up high. Brody Thompson, he's going to keep the catcher's mask off. He decides to dish it off, trying to go the slide, as that one also made contact with the netting. And he decides he just wants to sit down a little bit, and he goes into the netting. So 0-1 following the foul ball from Christensen. And for Thompson, may have thought that was going to go out of play. Infielders telling him to get after it as he just makes some adjustments here. Maybe also having a difficult time trying to see that one directly up in the sky with the sun out. So 0-1 here with no runners on board following that 4-6-3 double play. Mickley, here just the number 9 batter, and Christensen, this is Swan on this one is hooking left, fouls and hits towards the Hardhats bullpen. So 0-2 count will be the result. Hardhats looking to go into the bottom of the 5th. Scoreless, trying to make that a change and get their first run to crack this eggshell of 0-0. So Christensen will call a timeout here on the in the batter's box. Get some extra time here to rethink some things. So 0-2 as he re-enters. Mickley here with the pitch. Swan on hard ground ball right to the hand of Wyatt Reeder. The scoop with the glove hand. The throw over to Steen on first. And gets the round out play for the 3rd out. So that will do for the top of the 5th inning. Still a 0-0 game. We saw that leadoff walk from Tate Bertucci. Then the ground play hit from Roman Kodad. And then the ground out there from Christensen. And now the next due up for the Hardhats. First off, it's going to be the catcher, Brody Thompson, followed by Blaine Hunt and Aiden Roberts. So we'll take another quick short break here on Hardhats TV, and we'll be back for the bottom of the fifth where the Hardhats hit. So we're back here. Still on the mound for the Skyhawks is going to be Gavin Norris. Him and Mickley are going to both be starting out this fifth. Brody Thompson steps up here at bat. He had a pop fly to left field, which was caught by a left fielder in Roman Kodot in foul territory. So he gets his prep work here before entering the batter's box. So the catcher leads off for the Hardhats. Norris the first pitch. Swung on a miss by Thompson for strike one. And again, the Hardhats staying aggressive here on the first pitch that has been offered to him. 0-1 here. Norris again, the lineup. Pitch comes. This one is going to bounce into the turf and right into the glove hand of Smith, the catcher for the Skyhawks. So Brody Thompson now facing a ball and a strike. Here comes the pitch from Norris. Swung on. This is just going to stay fair, and it just took a bounce and hooks right for a foul ball at first base line. So a 1-2 count here for Brody Thompson. Swung on and then hit the ground right out in front of him, and then took that bounce with that spin rate. And going foul on that first base line to the right. 1-2 count here for Brody Thompson. Here comes the pitch. Got a piece of it. Stays alive on the 1-2 with the foul ball. So Norris will get a new ball here as Blaine Hunt will fetch after that foul ball, moves out of the way. 1-2 count for Brody Thompson. He takes a quick timeout here in the batter's box. So he lets that pressure kind of soak in on Norris on the mound. 1-2, he re-enters. Norris, the right-handed pitcher, to the right-handed batter, and Thompson swung on and missed for strike three and a leadoff strikeout, and that's the first of the day for Norris. So for Brody Thompson this year, that is his 20th strikeout. So Blaine Hunt making his second at-bat of the game. He grounded out to Diedrich, their shortstop. He's going to get a good hit on this one. Picked up by the second baseman. The throw over to first. Not doing a great camera work there, so 2 away. First pitch, Hunt sees. He takes a swing, 2 away. So back to Aiden Roberts. He's going to make his third at-bat here of the game. He has a double and a ground out, 1 for 2. Following Thompson and Hunt going away. Here comes the first pitch from Norris. That was in for ball 1. 1-0 count. Norris. The pitch. Roberts lets that one go fly through for outside for ball 2. So 2-0 with 2 away in the bottom of the 5th inning. Hardhats still trying to crack the eggshell in a 0-0 game. This pitch, again, drops down low for ball 3 off to Aiden Roberts. So 3 balls, no strikes as Gavin Norris, who stepped in a little closer to get that ball. From the catcher, here comes this pitch. This was going to be in for a strike. Roberts was facing a 3-0 count. Crowd not liking that call. They thought it should have been a 4-pitch walk. We've seen one walk today following Jace Moore, and that's the only one that Norris has allowed. This next pitch, swung on gut piece of it, fouls off into the netting by Roberts. So he goes to a 3-2 count after the first strike. He took it on a 3-0 count, and this next one makes contact to go 3-2. So he re-enters with facing 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th inning. Norris, this pitch is swung on, this ground ball right back to the pitcher, and the lob over to first, and that will be caught for the 3rd out. So we go to the 6th, still scoreless. It's been the question, obviously, the entire game, who is going to get the first run. So Roberts goes 1 for 3 today. So we'll take another short break here on Hardhats TV, and we'll get action in the 6th inning when we come back. So we're ready to start the 6th inning. Declan Mickley, who is back on the mound for the Hardhats. He's thrown for strikeouts in the 3rd and 4th inning. He's allowed 3 or 4 hits, no runs. He's walked 2 batters here today. When we saw him the last time he pitched, he had 41 pitches total and 30 strikeouts. He had a good strike rate here when he started the game. So here comes the first pitch. This one is going to go drop in to the strike zone for strike 1. Starts off 0-1 here. Leading off for the Skyhawks is number 16, Luke Heller. They go all the way back to the top of the air order. He's 0 for 2 the last time he was up. He also went in for a double play. This next pitch goes down low into the turf, rolls into the glove hand of Brody Thompson for ball 1. 1-1. Mickley, as he's stomping on the mound here, seeing where he wants to place his feet. Hands up high. Here at the windup, the pitch comes, swung on. This ground ball is takes the bounce into the glove of Wyatt Reeder, and he must have a ball magnet attached to him. He's had a lot of plays go towards him today, and that's going to be the first out here in the top of the 6th. So Ryan Lynn, who has been the guy to kind of stop here for the Hardhats defense. He's 2 for 2 today with 2 singles. Mickley. Let's see what his first pitch offering will be. This one is going to be in down the middle. Call for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. After the leadoff hitter and Heller grounds out, which makes him go 0 for 3 on the day. Mickley. Stand still. Here comes his next pitch. Swung on. Makes contact with it. Fouls off into the netting. Now here for an 0-2 count. No balls, 2 strikes as the home plate umpire who's going to go and get this foul ball out of the way. And we resume back. So Mickley is just going to move that turf once again. The crowd making a great showing here as it gets closer to this Game 2 start time at 7 o'clock against Pueblo. Next pitch comes in. This one bounces off the turf and also got a piece of the noggin. Good thing Brody Thompson wears that catcher's mask. Be missing all of his teeth and he will look like a real hockey player. So following that one down to the turf escapes out of the way of Thompson for ball one. 1-2 pitch here from Brody Thompson from the left arm. Here it comes. Swan on this ground ball is going to be right into the hand of Blaine Hunt. Makes the scoop, the throw on a laser over to Dexter Steen on first base for the second out here of the inning. And now pulls in Luke Van Dyke, who is 0 for 2 today, a ground out for a double play and a fly out into center field. So the Hardhats, they snap that 2 for 2 there for Ryan Lynn. He goes 2 for 3 today. First pitch comes off here from Declan Mickley on the mound. Pitch comes in. This one's just going to go a little down low for ball one. Hardhats with Roberts, Johnson, and Kiefer having all 3 of their hits this evening. This next pitch comes in for strike 1. So 1-1 here on this at-bat for their third baseman. Mickley getting settled in here, dialed in as well. The 1-1, 2 outs. This pitch swung on and missed for strike 2. One more strike away here. Then we go to the bottom of the 6th. Mickley takes the step there off of the mound, and now he re-enters. Third baseman Van Dyke taking the mid-practice swings here on the at-bat. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 3. And the Hardhats in the top of the 6th. Again going 1-2-3 with Heller, Lynn, and Van Dyke. So the Hardhats, I've said this every inning. Who will get the first one here? But Declan Mickley adds for his 3rd strikeout of this game. And the leadoff hitter for the Hardhats is going to be Lars Kiefer, who has a single, followed by Wyatt Reeder and Jace Morgan. That is what the mix and match looks like for the Hardhats. So we'll go here through some of those MLB games that are just starting up. Detroit Tigers up 1-0 over the Cleveland Guardians. In the bottom of the 2nd inning, the Los Angeles Dodgers up 1-0 over the Houston Astros. Both of those teams having 50-plus wins this year. Those are the only 2 games that are going on with 3 or 4 happening on later. We do have a final score. Baltimore Orioles, this game had to go into extra innings. They got done in 10, and the Orioles defeat the Braves of a score of 9-6. And the Mets, again, show the Yankees who's the boss of New York of a score of 12-6. So those are the 2 final scores and the 2 current games going on. So it's still going to be Norris on the mound here for the Skyhawks. Home plate umpire signals to Norris 2 more pitches here for the warm-up. So Norris will throw his final warm-up pitch. Lars Kiefer steps into the batter's box here. 1 for 2 today, a line drive and a single. There's only been 1 double hit today, and that's in the hands and on the at-bat of Aiden Roberts. So Kiefer, he gets his call in, and we'll see what the first pitch will come here from Gavin Norris. This first pitch just comes on that bottom right corner for ball 1, as that one bounces into the turf. Both pitchers, and Mickley and Norris, trying to give something a little down low here for all these hitters to try to chase. This one's going to get hit. This one is into left center. As the center fielder is under it, makes the catch for the first out here in the bottom of the 6th, with Kiefer flying out to center field. So Wyatt Reeder, he comes in. He's 0 for 2 today with 2 groundouts, which is unusual for Reeder. We usually see him getting on base. He has 84 hits. He takes a swing here on this first one. This is a ground ball. The second baseman the sidearm throw. He just kind of backhanded that one over to first, and it's going to be tagged from first to get 2 away. So 2 away in the bottom of the 6th. This is Jace Morgan, who has a pop-up and a walk. This is the only walk that Norris has allowed this evening. And the first pitch that he will face is going to go downstairs for ball 1. A 1-0 count. Morgan the lefty hitting left fielder. This next pitch swings. This one is hard. This one gets between the first baseman and second baseman, so he's going to go in. It's the 4th hit for the Hardhats this evening. On his second pitch he singles. So this is now Dexter Steen. And last night, he tallied for the 5th run of the game with the 5-1 victory. So Norris keeping a close eye on Morgan on first. They're going to pick him off. He slides in safe. Dexter Steen here, a ground out and a sacrifice bunt, as he still awaits here his first pitch of the game. Norris back-to-back times he's going to try that pickoff attempt on first. Morgan again sliding in, both times safe. So Dexter Steen still awaits the first pitch here of his at-bat. First pitch comes in down low for ball 1. Smith, the catcher, popped up quickly, making sure that Morgan wasn't going to take off. For both teams, we know that if they have runners on base, they're going to try to send them to get closer, and both teams are going to try to get base hits that sneak through in the outfield. So 1-0 count here for Dexter Steen. Jace Morgan, who singled on the last at-bat. Morgan's going to take off. This pitch is going to get a piece of Dexter Steen, so a hit by pitch puts runners on first and second. And for Dexter Steen, that is the 14th hit by pitch for him this year. So Carter Johnson, who was also singled in this game, he is 1 for 2, also having a flyout. So Morgan on second, who was taking off to steal before Dexter Steen, the Hardhats first baseman, took that one inside. A huge at-bat here for the Hardhats. First pitch Johnson sees, makes contact with it, fouls it off, hits the netting here behind the plate for an 0-1 count. Morgan takes his lead off of second. Steen will follow at first. Norris gets his call, looking back and forth to second and home. This is swung on by Johnson. The diving play caught by the third baseman. The throw over to first. So a ground out. We go to the 7th. Scoreless. 0-0. Johnson, who grounds out, he goes 1 for 3 today. Third baseman and Luke Van Dyke made a nice diving play there to get that ball and throws it over to their first baseman in Van Dorn. So it was the single from Jace Morgan, which ties each of these teams having 4 hits apiece in this game, and the hit by pitch from Dexter Steen, which put him on first. So we go to the 7th. We'll see a run happen. Declan Mickley returns on the mound. There was a strikeout in the last inning to tuck away from striking out Van Dyke. So then 3-2 up here for the Skyhawks are going to be their catcher, Cooper Smith, their first baseman, and Cole Van Dorn, and their shortstop, Charlie Diedrich. So those are their 3-2 up. One error also belonging to Skutt. And for Cooper Smith today, having a line drive to Reeder at second, and then a ground out that was scooped and thrown from Roberts across the pond to Steen at first. So we will see again at 7 o'clock. Hardhats take on Pueblo. So here we go. This is Cooper Smith, 0 for 2, the catcher. He bats fourth in the lineup, so it's going to be the 4, 5, 6 hitters to start off this 7th inning. Declan Mickley here. First pitch, this is going to be swung. This one is going into right field. Johnson going back here towards the wall, but he's on a catch. Makes the catch in right field for the first out here in the 7th inning. So this is Cole Van Dorn, first baseman. He had a fly out to Carter Johnson as well on his first at-bat, and then he followed with a walk on his second. Here for Declan Mickley. First pitch in, made contact with it for the Skyhawks catcher. This first pitch here on his second batter he will face will go for ball 1. A 1-0 count. Declan Mickley still seeing the options here from Brody Thompson as he will get his call. Lifts the leg, pitch comes. This one is going to be in for strike 1. Van Dorn lets that one go through. Watches it all the way to the glove to Brody Thompson. 1-1. Count here with 1 out. Declan Mickley, the lift of the leg, pitch. This one is swung on. This one fouled off, so a 1-2 count. So following the foul ball, that results to the second strike here for the first baseman. He takes this next one, fouls off again. Still stays at a 1-2 count. Ball and 2 strikes. Declan Mickley with the hands up high, again doing his routine. This pitch comes in, swung on a missed for strike 3. He adds for another strikeout, 2 away, 1 more to go here in the top of the 7th. So the 4th total strikeout for Declan Mickley today, making it for his 35th of the year. Wow, would you look at that, the lucky number, number 35. 2 away, Mickley's first pitch here to Charlie Diedrich, the shortstop. This one comes up high for ball 1. 1-0 to start. 7th inning, the bottom of the 7th, the Hardhats have a chance to get a run and walk off. This one is popped up high, up in the air. Mickley thought he wanted it. Both the Hardhats from Mickley and Steen fall off, and Steen makes the catch for the 3rd out here in the top of the 7th inning. Hardhats, if they don't want to go to extra innings, they could finish it here in the bottom of the 7th. Still in a unscored game, 0-0. So we'll take one last short break here on Hardhats TV, unless there will be extra innings. In the bottom of the 7th, and we'll be back here. The leadoff hitters for post 22 are going to be Dawson Inhofer, Brody Thompson, and Blaine Hunt, the 7, 8, and 9 hitters. So remaining on the mound for the Skyhawks is going to be Gavin Norris. So Dawson Inhofer, he comes in the leadoff in the bottom of the 7th in a 0-0 game. For Dawson Inhofer today, 0 for 2, a fly out and a ground out. First pitch here, as he kind of lean in towards the bunt. This one goes down the middle for strike 1. 0-1. Both teams having 4 hits here. It's only 6 o'clock. They still have 1 hour left here until their next game. This is Swan. Second baseman out of the glove. The lob over to first. Dawson Inhofer will get a single. A leadoff single. And the Hardhats off to a good start here in the bottom of the 7th. And for Dawson Inhofer, his 25th hit of the year and his 20th single. As that one just popped right out of the glove of the second baseman and Luke Heller. So for Brody Thompson today, a pop fly to left field and a strikeout. Norris in the corner of his eye, the runner on first. Thompson's going to place this bunt down low. Picked up by the catcher. It's going to be thrown over to first. And the sacrifice bunt will move Dawson Inhofer to second base. And now pulls in Blaine Hunt, who is 0 for 2 today with 2 groundouts. As everyone out of the Hardhats dugout to complement the sacrifice bunt there from Brody Thompson. So Inhofer on second with 1 out. Here's the shortstop, Blaine Hunt. Norris the first pitch. This one will come down low and inside for ball 1. One-0. Norris, who's only thrown for 1 strikeout here in this game, looks back to Inhofer, who's on second. This pitch comes up high into the left side. Blaine Hunt will take it for ball 2. And a shortstop for the Skyhawks, Charlie Diedrich, who is right behind Dawson Inhofer, making sure that he knows he's there. This is going to be swung on by Blaine Hunt. This ground ball picked up by the second baseman. The throw over to first. So a ground out there, 2 away, which moves Dawson Inhofer on the way to third base. And this is Aiden Roberts, who can put a base hit here. He has this game in a leadoff double, with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning in a 0-0 game here between these Skutt Skyhawks. So Blaine Hunt rounds out. This is Aiden Roberts back to the top of the order with Dawson Inhofer on third following his leadoff single. And a quick step off here of the mound for Gavin Norris in the post-22 dugout, making sure he can hear all of the loudness from their dugout. Norris the first pitch, placed on a bunt here. This one the pickup, the throw over to first base, gets him! And again, the crowd cannot believe it, so that's going to be the 3rd out. This means we go to extra innings in a 0-0 game between the Skutt Skyhawks and the post-22 Hardhats. Roberts, who placed that bunt down, with Inhofer coming in 3rd, making the smart play, not going to home, and just throwing it across to first to secure the out. And the first baseman in Van Dorn, who almost juggled a little bit, and Aiden Roberts, who has a lot of speed. He does lead the team this year in stolen bases. So Declan Mickley returns out here to the mound for the Hardhats. In these next 2 games, this game and at 7 o'clock against Pueblo, are big games. This could determine what time they play tomorrow. At 4:30 will be the championship game. Will it be at 3 or 2:30 for the 3rd place game? Who knows? The Hardhats making sure that they want to get a ticket to the championship game in this 50th annual Firecracker tournament. So leadoff hitter for the Skyhawks is going to be number 10, Tate Bertucci, followed by number 9, Roman Kadad, and Nate Christensen. So here is the rule. We went with this in the game against Napoleon. So the runner on second is going to be Charlie Diedrich. Just kind of like the MLB, they put a runner on second. We're going to start with 1 out, try to get this game moving a little bit faster. Hardhats having some experience here with extra innings in this tournament, defeating the Napoleon River Bandits of a score of 5-4 in 9 innings. And for Bertucci today, a strikeout and a walk. So Declan Mickley will do the honors of the first pitch. He has started this game, and he's going to stick with it. So the lefty will deliver. First pitch is in for strike one. 0-1. We'll see if Diedrich, the runner on second, is going to take off to third. He's antsy, about halfway off. Mickley, the pitch comes in. This is swung on and missed for strike two. First two pitches in here to start off extra innings in the eighth. Mickley puts in two for strikes. 0-2 with one out to start off every extra inning with one out to start. Mickley again looks back to the runner on second. Double takes, lifts a leg, pitch comes. This one is going to go outside. Brody Thompson does a smooth criminal slide over to the right side and makes the catch. Now one outside for ball one. Mickley again trying to get as loose as possible as he kind of shrugs the shoulders. 1-2 following that last pitch going in for ball one. Mickley's pitch, this one comes in down low for ball two as Bertucci hesitated to take on it. He saw that one come down low and he held off. So a 2-2 count. Declan Mickley started this at-bat 0-2. Again, looks back to the runner on second. This pitch comes in. Down low for ball three. Another mixed reaction from the crowd. So the last three pitches for 3 balls. He started off the first 2 pitches for strikes. Here for Tate Bertucci, the designated hitter, leading off in the top of the 8th inning in a 0-0 game. Game 1 of this doubleheader for the Hardhats. Mickley's next pitch. This one is in. Catches him looking for a strikeout. And the runner is going to take off to third. This one is just going to get out of the reach of Aiden Roberts. So kind of a sneak attack from Diedrich. He's going to go away to third. So that's Bertucci's second strikeout of the game. And now this pulls in Roman Kodad for the Skyhawks left fielder. A single and a ground out that resulted into a double play. With a runner on third, again following that sneak attack. Mickley facing a lefty batter. Not a lot here on this team. Napoleon and the team that they beat in extra innings, as they had only one lefty hitter through all their 9 hitters. So with the runner right behind Mickley's back on third, here comes the first pitch. This one is going to be down low for ball one. 1-0 count. This one almost got out of the way of Mickley, who had to do his best impersonation of Air Jordan trying to make that catch. Or that one could have gone behind him. That could have been bad news for this Hardhats defense. 1-0 count. Mickley here with his next pitch. This one is going to be check swing. This one was down the middle for strike one anyway, so evens it out to 1-1. A ball and a strike. Declan Mickley gives a nod here to Brody Thompson on the mound. With Diedrich off of third, this pitch is swung. This one is going left, hooking left into the dugout as Aiden Roberts takes a hard slide into that fence. He gets up okay, which is really good news. You don't want to see anyone hurt. We saw that collision on the first out of the game between Wyatt Reeder and Blaine Hunt. A little bit behind second base. So following that foul ball, it's going to be 1-2 here for Roman Kodad. Declan Mickley putting the final touches here on this pitch. 1-2 is in. Swan, this hard ground ball is going to sneak on through. So an RBI single, and the Skyhawks will get the first run with the RBI single. So the Hardhats, they had 2 outs there, and Kodad gets there as Diedrich will get the run. So up next is Nate Christensen, the center fielder, who had a single and a ground out. So Mickley looks to the runner on first. And first pitch here on this next batter, swung on a miss. They try to go to first. Dexter Steen, as this one kind of came a little bit out of the reach, as they are trying to fix up a little bit of that one right there. So 0-1 here for Christensen, the ninth batter in the lineup for the Skyhawks, as they just scored. So it's 1-0 here in the top of the 8th inning. Mickley, the 0-1 pitch comes with 2 outs. This one down low. That one stopped right in between the legs of Brody Thompson as he reels this one back towards Mickley, the pitcher. A ball and a strike apiece. 2 outs. Both teams having 5 hits. But the Skyhawks have that 1-0 lead. This one is going to be fouled off, up and out of play. 1-2 count with the result. So Christensen, the crowd starting trying to get back into it. It is kind of what happened when they played Napoleon. When the crowd started getting into it, the Hardhats so they look over to Steen on the pickoff attempt, as they're not going to get that out there. We'll zoom out here a little bit so we can see the runner on first, as this one has a real time with the mounted camera. The other camera, not this one. That one's a little bit slow, so I'll try to keep this one here. 1-2, runner takes off to second. This pitch is going to be for ball 1, as this one just juggles out of the hand of Brody Thompson. So that was for ball 2. He got the pickup, he just couldn't handle it cleanly out of his glove. So Roman Kodad having an RBI single and a stolen base. That's the first one we have seen today by either team. Hardhats, they've allowed less than 50 stolen bases this year. I believe that is the 41st that they have only allowed. So 2-2 count here. Runner on second. Pitch comes in. This is Swan. This one is fouled off. Hits one of the glass here. Not in my box. But for a 2-2 count with 2 outs. If it would come in my box, I'd make a good split save. I've been out of hockey for a few weeks, but wouldn't be bad to polish up a little bit. 2-2 with 2 outs. Pitch comes in. Catches him looking for strike 3 for the 3rd out. We go to the bottom of the 8th. This is the last chance for the post-22 Hardhats to win this game possibly, or tie it to force a 9th. So they are going to try their best. So Christensen strikes out. That was the 2nd of the inning for Declan Mickley. It was Roman Kodad with the RBI single that brought in Charlie Diedrich, and also had a stolen base. So we'll take one more short break here on Hardhats TV. We'll be back in the bottom of the 8th inning, and the leadoff hitters for the Hardhats are going to be Lars Kiefer, Wyatt Reeder, and Jace Morgan. When we come back, bottom of the 8th inning, Hardhats trail 1-0 in extra innings. And it is go time here for the Hardhats. As this is the man who walked off against the last time they were in extra innings. So the runner on second is going to be Aiden Roberts. Kiefer today, 1 for 3. This first pitch is going to come down low into the turf for ball 1. Starts off 1-0. Ball and no strikes with 1 out. An error for each team here in this game, as Diedrich, the shortstop, getting a little bit closer to Roberts, who's going back and forth. The pitch from Norris. This one is going to be for ball 2. Close to being in the zone for strike 1 there onto Lars Kiefer. Gavin Norris, who also started this game for the Skyhawks, having 1 strikeout today. Diedrich teasing Roberts on a second base. He's going to go back there. He holds off. He doesn't know what he wants to do. This pitch comes in down low to the right side for ball 3 here on the Kiefer. So he faces his first 3 pitches for 3 balls. And they have 1 out to start off with. Aiden Roberts, who showcases speed, he leads the team in stolen bases this year with 35. Lars Kiefer also having 27 stolen bases. So if you get both of those two on base, this next pitch is for ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk will put Lars Kiefer on first base. And here comes Wyatt Reeder. 0 for 3 today with 3 groundouts. And then we're going to see a mound visit here from Skutt. Wyatt Reeder, who comes in on the biggest clutch moments. You only have 1 out here. There is a double play in action if they get the runner on second to first. Aiden Roberts on second, Lars Kiefer on first. So they're going to keep Gavin Norris here in this game. They're just going to kind of slow this momentum down for the Hardhats. Wyatt Reeder looking to get his 84th hit of the year. And if they get Aiden Roberts off of second base in a score, and here we go 1-1, that could force a 9th inning. And if they get another one, they will walk off. So following the mound visit, Norris stays in. First baseman in Van Dorn playing in tight on that first base right there. The first pitch coming here to Wyatt Reeder. This one's going to come inside for ball 1. I've said this numerous times when Reeder is at bat. He lets the first few go, and then on the next later pitches of the at bat, he takes it for the strike, or takes the swing. 1-0 count. Roberts going back and forth. This pitch is in. Reeder will let that one go through for strike 1. You don't have much to lose. You have a 1-1 count with 1 out. Yes, you're down 1-0. You have runners on 1 and 2. We'll see if they try to get Aiden Roberts here to third to put runners on the corners. Norris looking back. This pitch is in. Reeder takes a good swing on this one right to the dugout of the Skyhawks. So that was for a foul ball. 1-2 count here. Wyatt Reeder, he swung on the last 2. Sorry, he swung on the last one. The first strike, he let that one go right through. A ball and 2 strikes with 1 out. Kiefer on first, who had that 4-pitch walk on the leadoff. And then Roberts on second, who started this inning off here. Here comes this pitch, high up into the left side. Reeder will take it for ball 2. 2-2 with 1 out. 1-0 for the Skutt Skyhawks over the Post 22 Hardhats here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Reeder awaits here with the next pitch from Gavin Norris. Looks back to Roberts on second. He takes a stutter step towards third base. This pitch is up high for ball 3 on the Wyatt Reeder. Full count here. We saw the leadoff walk to Lars Kiefer on the leadoff hit. We'll see what happens here with Reeder. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners on first and second. Pitch comes. This one is high into the outside. Ball 4. So back-to-back walks. Puts the bases loaded. And this is Jace Morgan, who comes into play here. Only 1 out. Huge moment in this game for your Hardhats. And we won't see a mound visit here yet. Their manager is coming out of the dugout. He's going to stay there. So Norris is going to get the okay here to pitch. Jace Morgan having a single in his last at-bat. Here comes the first pitch he will see. This one for ball 1. If we see an RBI walk, we've seen that a few times this year here for the Hardhats. We've also seen an RBI hit by pitch. That happened not too long ago with Dexter Steen taking one there against Inkton. The crowd's starting to get back into it. 1-0 count here for Jace Morgan. Pitch comes in. This one again trailing to the left outside for ball 2. All the infielders playing in very tight We might see maybe Morgan place a bunt here. The third baseman in Van Dyke and the first baseman Van Dorn playing in where that grass turf is. The 2-0 here to Jace Morgan. This one up high for ball 3. So we've seen back-to-back walks. The leadoff walk to Lars Kiefer, and then the last walk face a full count from Wyatt Raider. Jace Morgan faces 3 balls, no strikes with bases loaded, down 1-0. Here comes the pitch. This one is going to be in for the first strike here of this at-bat. So 3-1. Jace Morgan doesn't think much of it. He'll let that one go through any day. Facing a 3-0 count. Norris, this next pitch, swung on by Morgan. This one's just going to go foul on that first base line. So another full count. We've seen this on the last at-bat with Wyatt Reeder. And all base runners were sent on full throttle. Roberts was heading on home. And that's kind of automatic when you see a base hit. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bases loaded. Here comes the pitch to Jace Morgan. Takes a swing. This one is line drive. And it's tagged for first and a double play. And that is the final score. The Post 22 Hardhats will take their first loss here of this Firecracker tournament. Morgan, that line drive right to the first baseman. And Reeder, who is on first, went in to go take off. And they tag first base. What a great game this was. A 1-0 final. We didn't see a score until the 8th inning. Don't forget, Hardhats play at 7 o'clock against Pueblo. We'll have this game on the Hardhats TV. So we'll take another short break. We'll start a new live, and we'll see you later. This is Wyatt Simmons signing off.